Hey guys, it's Shannon with True Crime with Shannon, and I'm back with another video. But before we get into today's video, if you do me a quick favor, if you like the content, hit that like button, that little thumbs up. That way, it'll help the video get some more traction and get out there so we can keep Dylan Rounds' name out there for other folks. And also, if you like the content, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, with that all said and done, we're going to be covering the case again of missing 19-year-old Dylan Rounds. There hasn't been too many updates, but I wanted to do an updated video to keep things updated and out there for you guys. I did do an update on the blog a couple days ago, but I just wanted to do another video. They're a little more interactive and they kind of seem to get some more attention. This is actually an article I came across from NBC News, and he's been getting a lot more coverage in the last week, which is amazing. Okay, here's what they have to say. This is actually his father here, so let's check out the article. He had a lot of goals, Justin Rounds told Dateline about his son Dylan. He had a future in mind. Dylan Rounds was last seen on Thursday, May 26, 2022, in Monticello, Nevada, getting a bite to eat at the Saddle Sore Bar. 2 days later, on Saturday, May 28, 2022, the 19-year-old spoke with the maternal grandmother on the phone. Dylan's mother, Candace Cooley, told Dateline that her mother said Dylan had to hang up because it was raining and he needed to move some equipment. He said, "It's raining. I can't talk to you right now," Candace told Dateline. "I gotta get my seed truck." Dylan is a farmer, and Candace told Dateline he needed to move his truck into the shed so that the seeds would not get ruined. No one has heard from Dylan since. So right now we're assuming that he was in the Saddle Shore Bar on the 26th, and then he seemed to be okay because he last spoke with his grandmother on the 28th, and then he was moving his seed. So my opinion is, I don't know, like I said, this could change. My thought is something happened to him on the 28th. And that seems to be the thinking of most folks at this point. And he just planted his crop. He actually did get it out there. He planted those seeds. And according to his family, he would not have just left and just disappeared to nowhere. So let's see what else this article has to tell us here. Dylan Rounds grew up in Idaho with a younger brother and sister, Justin told Dateline, that when Dylan was about 4 years old, he and Candace divorced. The kids then split their time between Idaho Falls, where Justin lives, and Twin Falls, where Candace lives. And there's a picture of young Dylan on a tractor. And according to Justin, Idaho life meant outdoor life. He told Dateline the family would often go fishing and dirt biking, but those activities came second to what Justin says is the most important part of Idaho living: farming. Justin told Dateline that almost every conversation he has with Dylan is about farming. He's just done that all his life, Justin said. That's all he thought about. Hey, this cow was a born outdoors guy, and he was a born farmer. Definitely not your typical 19-year-old at all. He's one of those people that was born to be a farmer. See, there you go. That's what Mom says. She told Dateline the kid could drive a tractor before most kids knew how to ride a bike. That's impressive. In 2019, Dylan was finally able to secure a farm of his own in Lucin, Utah, which is right on the Utah-Nevada border. Justin said his father, Dylan's grandfather, purchased the land with Dylan, who spent his days cultivating the crop and his nights living alone in a camper on the property. "It's sandy desert," Candace said, describing Lucin. "It's literally people who want to be off the grid." So it's pretty much desolate. It's really desolate out there. I've been watching some coverage from out there. It truly is a very different life for sure. This year was his first crop, Candace said. She told Dateline that Dylan's farm had to be built from the ground up. There was a lot of preparation that needed to be done. And there's Dylan with his mom. Justin said that while the farm was Dylan's top priority, his son would often return to Idaho and stay with either of his parents because of the lack of running water in his camper. Yeah, from what I understood about that area, there's actually a watering hole that they all go out to, so they would have to fill up their water there. So there's no running water in his camper or anywhere near his farm. So it's really living like the old farmers used to live. Definitely not traditional life at all for anybody out there. On May 26th, however, Dylan was not visiting either of his parents, but he did speak with each of them on the phone. He was so excited, Candace recalled. He said, "Mom, I'm going to get my first crop this year." Justin remembers speaking to Dylan that day, too. He was talking about the different types of tractors that he was running, Justin said. The service was spotty. That was the last time Justin or Candace spoke to their son. On Monday, May 30th, Candace said she received an alarming call from J.D. Wild, Dylan's best friend. Candace told Dateline that J.D. informed her that no one had heard from Dylan since Saturday. "I instantly knew we had a problem," Candace said. Candace told Dateline it was extremely unusual for Dylan to go so long without speaking to anybody. "Dylan breaks his phones, he loses phone chargers," Candace said, "but he shows up at his father's house or my house within a matter of hours to get a spare one." So he was not without a phone for very long at all, according to his parents. Candace said since neither she nor her ex-husband had seen their son, she immediately thought something might have happened. Now, this is actually a really good picture of Dylan to show you the way he worked. Look at those were his boots. And according to Mom, he had those boots and he would wear them until they practically had holes in them and then he would get a new pair. So that was all he wore. Later that day, Candace reported Dylan missing and they immediately began the search. The boots were found within the first hour, Candace told Dateline, on Dylan's property. Candace told East Idaho News reporter Nate Eaton that the boots were, quote, behind a pile of dirt just casually tossed out. She noted that Dylan was very particular about his boots. He wears a pair and it's always the same pair. When they wear out, he goes and buys exactly the same boots. So he wears those boots until they can't be worn anymore. And then he goes and buys the exact same pair. Mom said, I don't know if she says it here, but Mom did say that she's got some of his old boots at home. So I guess not all of them are chucked. Let's see. Officials found the boots 100 yards south of where Dylan's green truck was parked, which Candace told Dateline is in the opposite direction from his camper. "Our hearts dropped," Candace said. "A kid doesn't go walking in the desert without his boots." Justin told Dateline that finding his son's boots like that threw everyone for a loop. "Our brains were going a million different directions," he said. "We didn't know what to do." According to reporter Nate Eaton, Candace told East Idaho News that detectives found, quote, a spot of blood on the boots and that they would be sent to a lab for testing. East Idaho News said that the family was told, quote, police were hanging onto the boots so in case cadaver dogs needed them for a scent. So they did not send them immediately to a lab, which they totally should have because it takes some time for that. Which is why they were not sent to testing until a week later. So they have the boots, but we haven't heard anything if they found anything on those boots. But everything else seemed normal on the farm. Everything but Dylan's maroon Ford pickup truck. And there it is in the snow. Candace told Dateline it looked like the truck had been pressure washed and that the seats had been moved. Candace told Nate Eaton of East Idaho News that because she is 4'11 and Dylan is 5'11, she always has to move the driver's seat up. But Candace said when she looked in Dylan's truck on May 30th, the seat was scooted up to the point I didn't even have to move it to drive. See, that's not good. Somebody else was driving that truck besides Dylan. That's to me that's what I'm thinking. Candace added that Dylan's truck was in four-wheel drive, but that was a feature of the truck that did not work. Candace told Nate Eaton that everyone in their family knew the four-wheel drive wasn't working because Dylan often complained about not being able to use the feature and having to drive his truck without it. So he did not have that convenience of four-wheel drive and he was not happy about it. So the fact that the seat was moved up and it was in four-wheel drive, Super suspicious, that's for sure. And I totally understand the parents freaking out about that. See, there was some fishy stuff going on, Candace told Dateline, on top of the red flags involving Dylan's truck. She also said it had rained the weekend before Dylan was reported missing, but there was no mud on the tires. There's no tracks, no nothing. The Box Elder County Sheriff's Office is investigating Dylan's disappearance. On May 31st, they posted on their Facebook page that Dylan's case continues to be an active missing persons investigation. It goes on to say that they are working diligently to locate Dylan and continue to follow up on tips that we receive. As of June 3rd, there has been no updated information on new locations to search, but they are still searching in the Lucian area. Candace told Dateline that she's extremely frustrated with how her son's case has been handled. She said although deputies have been helpful with the search, she feels like Dylan's case is being pushed to the side. They left us out there with no assistance, no help, no guidance, she said. Justin shares Candace's frustration. They would never answer their phone. Justin told Dateline about the Box County Sheriff's Office. They started helping out, I think, last Friday. And I believe my personal opinion is I believe that was the push from social media and the mainstream media as well as Duty Ron and Ed. I do believe that really helped push things for this search. Uh, Candace told Dateline that since Dylan's farm is on the Utah Nevada border, the Elko Police Department in Nevada is also assisting with the search. The Elko County Sheriff's Office posted a press release on June 9th, which confirmed Dylan was last seen in Montello before his disappearance on the 26th of May, and that he ate at a local establishment and then returned to Utah. Montello, Nevada is about 30 minutes away from the farm Dylan lived on in Lucin. The release adds that, quote, cell phone data was used to track Dylan's phone around his farm near Lucin, Idaho. It goes on to say that the last cell phone communication from Dylan's phone was on the 28th of May near his farm in Box Elder County, and that officials could confirm that phone call was made from the farm based off cell phone data. I think that was the phone call to grandma. According to the release, the Elko County Sheriff's Office are directing people to Box Elder County in this case. They also noted that they are providing them with the resources they need to help find Dylan. Candace told Dateline that the Weber County Sheriff's Office in Ogden, Utah, also provided their resources. They had a cadaver dog. They brought the chopper. Candace said they did an amazing job with the area. Candace said some of the most valuable help has been from their own community of people dedicated to helping bring Dylan home. We had between 250 and 300 people out there, Candace said. Justin and I both have a very large support group. And there's his missing poster. And then the phone numbers that you can call if you have any information. Candace said she also runs the quote Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page. Now it's the official. I will post that in the description of this video to share updates in the case, information about search parties, and photos of Dylan. She emphasized that there are currently no fundraisers open for her son, so there's no fundraisers. If you see one, it's not from the family. Dylan is 19 years old, 5'11", and 160 pounds, with dark brown eyes and brown hair. Candace told Dateline he typically wears blue jeans, a flannel shirt, and a ball cap. He did not just walk away from this lifelong dream, Candace said, referring to his first crop on his own farm. Dylan has no drug abuse, no substance abuse, no mental issues, no depression, no suicide thoughts, nothing, she said. I mean, everybody loved him. The family's offering a $20,000 reward for any information regarding Dylan's whereabouts. Anyone with information about Dylan Rounds is asked to contact the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office at 435-734-3800. And again, I will be including that information in the information of this video. So, this is, like I said, we're not getting too far. And I know they did an official search over the weekend. It was just involving FBI and law enforcement. And then, as I record this is Tuesday. Other searchers have been allowed to come back out, more volunteers. on Monday and today. I know that the monsters under the bed, Chris Hall and his cousin, have been out there with their drone and trying to cover the area, and they have communicated with the family as well. So that's invaluable. I'll include a link to his channel. He's an amazing YouTube creator, and he's out there boots on the ground. And if you'd like to support that at all, so he can get back and forth, he's going to try to go out there as often as he can. So at this point, we're just hoping for something to find Dylan. They did have a PI. Apparently grandma, I don't know if it was just grandma or grandma and grandpa, hired a PI, which I'm not sure when the PI started on the case, but he was just fired either yesterday or within a day or two before that. My opinion, I've heard he was a recorded call that has been circulating, and he's pretty aggressive, and my opinion, I find him very rude. So, and he's got some super crazy conspiracy theories going on. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they're not possible, but the guy's, in my opinion, the guy's a little out there, and he definitely wasn't respectful to Candace and, at all on the call. So, so that PI, in my opinion, is good riddance to him. So I'm only following the official Facebook page, which is where the family posts directly, and I follow the Monster Under the Bed and a few other ones that we're just out there seeking to post, truthful information. There's a lot of crazy stuff. There's about 4 different POIs that are involved. I'm not going to post that. There's other folks that have been talking about that. They did mention that the owner of the bar could be a person of interest. I'm not sure. And they mentioned the guy who Dylan supposedly let borrow his phone and make a phone call, and he did end up taking him taking him somewhere because I guess he was on foot. Some folks thought that was that they ruled the guy out, but I've been hearing that that's not true. I think at this point, as YouTube creators and social media on Twitter, TikTok, wherever you post, I think the best thing we can do for this family is to share the poster. And I have it posted here, and I will, you guys can Google it real easily. You can take a screenshot here. It's all over Twitter. Um, post, keep posting about him. And we need to let law enforcement, FBI, Texas Equisearch is out there. We need to let them do their job. Okay, we got them out there. That was the main thing that Candace, the mom, wanted us all to do. Hopefully, the media and the online folks would encourage the law enforcement to get involved, and that has been done. So at this point, we need to let them do their job, and we need to just, stand back here and keep his name out there. We need to make sure that nobody forgets Dylan Rounds, and that we keep his, people need to see his face, see his name, see who this guy looks like, because somebody knows something, and I really am hoping and praying that he's found safe soon. Um, but in the meanwhile, that's pretty much the update I have for today. Again, check the description of the video for some links to Monsters Under the Bed, as well as the official Facebook page. If you do Facebook and you would like to follow along that is the official update. That's all the updates from the family, so that's completely from the family only. That's where they've released some releases that they got rid of the PI and that they're working with law enforcement, and they post if they need any help and that sort of thing with searching. So, with that said, I want to thank you guys for checking out the video. If you would, please share this, if you would. And most of all, share that poster. Share the pictures of Dylan. We need to find where Dylan is. He's a young man that, he needs to be home with his family. So, thank you guys for checking that out. And do me a quick favor on your way out, if you haven't already, hit that like button and hit subscribe if you would. I would really appreciate it. And with that all said and done, I hope you guys stay safe and have a good one.